Finally, after 2 long years, the wait is over for Netflix psychological thriller drama series You fans, as the streaming platform released the 10-part 3rd season of the series just a few days ago. And if you're anything like us, you just can't get enough. But after that huge turn in season 2 of the series, with Joe ending up with Love, we all thought that season 3 would most likely revolve around the 2 new lovebirds' married life and perhaps them building their own family. After that season 2 ending, where we saw the often love-struck, crazily obsessed Joe Goldberg finally settle down with a girl with the same psychological defect as him, we knew that it was not the end. I mean, let's face it, Joe can't just settle down and be content with a married life. It's just not his persona. So the 3rd season basically revolved around how this seemingly perfect marriage falls down because of another one of Joe Goldberg's classic obsessions. So now that season 3 is out, what do you think that twisted ending meant? Is there any death? And if there is, what does it mean for the whole series and storyline? Before we proceed, again, disclaimer, this video contains a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't checked the series yet, then don't get mad about these major twists and spoilers. Whether you've already finished this new season and need a guide to confirm that things really did get that nuts, or you're the type of person who likes to flip to the end of the book, we have your back. Also, make sure you hit that like button first and ring that notification bell for more updates. Now, here's your guide to You, Season 3's double-crossing ending. You is an American psychological thriller television series based on the book by Caroline Kepnes. The 1st season, which is based on the novel You, premiered on Lifetime in September 2018 and follows Joe Goldberg, a bookstore manager and psychopath who falls in love and develops an extreme obsession. The season starts with Penn Badgley, Elizabeth Lail, Luca Padovan, Zach Cherry, and Shay Mitchell. Season 1 follows the story of Joe Goldberg, a New York bookstore manager who, upon meeting Guinevere Beck, an aspiring writer, becomes infatuated with her. He feeds his toxic obsession using social media and other technology to track her presence and remove obstacles to their romance. Lifetime announced in July 2018 that You had been renewed for a 2nd season based on Kepnes' follow-up novel, Hidden Bodies. In the 2nd season, Joe Goldberg moves from New York to Los Angeles to escape his past and start over with a new identity. When he meets avid chef Love Quinn, Joe begins falling into his old patterns of obsession and tactics. As Joe attempts to forge a new love in the City of Angels, he strives to make his relationship with Love succeed at all costs to avoid the fate of his past romantic endeavors. In January 2020, the series was renewed for a 3rd season by Netflix, which was released on October 15, 2021. In the 3rd season, Saffron Burrows was upgraded to a series regular, joining newly cast Travis Van Winkle, Shalita Grant, Tati, Gabrielle, and Dylan Arnold. In October 2021, ahead of the 3rd season premiere, the series was renewed for a 4th season. In the 3rd season, Joe and Love are married and raising their newborn son Henry in the Californian suburb of Madre Linda. As their relationship dynamic takes a new turn, Joe continues to repeat the cycle of obsession with a burgeoning interest in Natalie, the next-door neighbor. This time, Love would flip the script to ensure that her dream of having the perfect family would not be torn away so easily by Joe's compulsive actions. Now, let's get further with the story of the latest season's ending. Anyone who watched season 2 of You knows that one thing is sure. There is not a world in which Love, played by Victoria Pedretti, and Joe, played by Penn Badgley, could live happily ever after as a married couple, but they sure tried in season 3. You Season 3 picks up right after the events of the last season. Joe started You Season 3 trying to be a better role model for his infant son. But if his body count is any indication, he winds up even further from that goal by the season's end. After trying to amicably, at least by his standards, leave Love for his boss Marianne, played by Tati Gabrielle, Joe finds himself scrambling to cover up his crimes and wrest himself from Love's grasp. The You Season 3 finale began with Joe returning from having ended Marianne's ex-husband Ryan's life. Ryan's death had just started to hit the news, and Marianne believed he had been the victim of a mugging. In a panic, Joe hid his guilt-ridden shirt in a nappy waste bin in Henry's nursery, which was very quickly discovered by Love. Putting two and two together, Love realized Joe must have been the perpetrator and that he was obviously in love with Marianne because he sought to eliminate any threat to their future relationship. Expanding on what happened in the past, Love admitted she had poisoned James with a paralytic after he wanted to end their marriage, but she had gotten the dosage wrong, killing him instead. Years later, Love had been able to master the dosage and told Joe she had poisoned his food, which would leave him temporarily paralyzed and give her time to decide whether to take his life. So now, not only do Joe and Love have no trust for each other, causing them both to cheat, they also still have no problem killing people in town whether they feel like it. Ultimately, they come to the conclusion, separately, that it just can't work. In the final episode, instead of divorce, it becomes a battle of who can beat who first. In the end, Joe proves once again that he's always one step ahead, figuring out that his wife had planned on poisoning him to death. Just as Love was ready to end her beloved husband's life, Joe injects Love with a conite, which slowly brings her life to an end. He wins the battle with Love while also framing her for every crime the couple, or even him alone, had committed. In the final moments, Joe fakes his death, leaves his child with a couple he knows will be good parents, and flees someplace else with a new identity. Hopefully, he'll reunite with Marianne once again, whom he fell in love with during the season. That said, don't expect Joe to get a happy ending. Even Badgley 34 is concerned about that. But there is one question that lingers in our minds. Is Love really dead? Well, it seems like the answer is yes. She was unconscious when Joe set the house on fire. If she had survived, she would have had to wake up, power through the effects of the intense paralyzing drug, find a hiding place away from the authorities, and lay low for months. Also, the authorities would have to believe she was dead after failing to find her body. That's a long shot, but it's certainly possible that this isn't the last we'll be seeing of Love Quinn. After all, this is you we're talking about. Never trust that anyone is dead until you see the body. Now, how about Joe? Where is he now after faking his end? At the end of the episode, it was revealed Joe had made his way all the way to Paris, France under the pseudonym of Nick. Classic Joe Goldberg move. As he waited in a cafe, his inner monologue revealed he was searching for Marianne and hoped they would cross paths in the future. But don't worry, he actually didn't learn anything, and this isn't a new, non-criminal start. He's looking out for Marianne and her daughter. You can bet that season 4, he'll still be looking for her, the first woman on Joe's love list who's smart enough to want nothing to do with him. The climactic face-off between the couple is perhaps the only way to end a season as wild as You's third outing, which had a lot of balls in the air, as Bustle quoted it. You is about to come back for a 4th season, so you might want to prepare for a whole new roller coaster journey of Joe Goldberg searching for his new love interest. But what about you guys? Do you think Love can still be alive? Let us know in the comments. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.